up, everybody? I'm back doing another video. This video is going to be a little bit different because it's actually not based on my Corvette. I'm actually just going to introduce you to the new whip in the garage. So I had the Audi A6 Sportback. I had that for about 3 years. Loved that car. Really great car, nice sporty car. It was my first Audi. Really enjoyed it as my daily driver. But you know, kind of getting in and out of that every single day, multiple times a day, because I go to appointments, I see clients, I'm in and out and in and out. It kind of got a little old for me getting in such a small car. So I decided to get something a little bit bigger, and I went with the Audi A6 Prestige, and I am just now getting it all set up. You can see I got the tint on the windows. I got 15% ceramic coating on the windows. I got 50% ceramic coating on the front windshield, and that obviously looks really great. And you know, so far I've been absolutely thrilled with it. I'm really enjoying it. You know, I will tell you though, so you know, if you've been watching some of my previous videos, you know I like to do the paint correction and I do the ceramic coating, so that's obviously going to be my first step on this car. And like most cars, you know, they come with some swirl marks, you know, and this is a 2019, had 5,600 miles on it, so very low miles. I really wanted to get black on black Prestige model with low miles, and I just really love this car. So I'm going to show you guys around it and kind of take you on the inside. But first thing I wanted to show you is the paint. When I got it, had this overspray on it. I'll show you a picture and I'll see if I can find some. But I think I got like, I would say I've got about 80% of it off, maybe 75. So I'm going to get in here real close. I'm not sure you guys can see this, but there are these white dots all over the paint. I'm not sure if that's coming through on the camera or not, but and believe it or not, this is about 80% better. So there was some kind of overspray, like a wax almost overspray on the whole car. And so I did a clay bar, and I did a traditional clay bar. So, you know, for those of you that have used clay bars before, I used, you know, a traditional clay bar, you know, spray it, wipe it down. And then I actually did a compound, which I was going to cut anyway. I needed to cut a layer off anyway because I wanted to get rid of all the swirl marks, etc. And as you can see in this picture, the car had some pretty brutal swirl marks already on it. And, you know, most people in general don't take care of their car the way, you know, someone who's maybe a little bit more OCD about taking care of the car and the paint like I am. So, you know, it definitely came with some swirl marks, and I did a first layer cut, and now here's that same photo. It looks like this, so obviously much better, much improved. But if you actually look at this photo, you can still see some of those white dots that are sitting in there. And I gotta tell you, it was really driving me crazy, and I was really concerned as how I'm supposed to get all of these white spots off the car, because I'm like, you know, I don't know what to do. Like, I did a full compound. I used a cut pad. I did a very heavy cut compound. It got a lot of swirl. I got the swirl marks out, but still about 15-20% of these white dots are just literally peppered throughout the whole car. And I was really a little nervous. So I ended up getting one of these synthetic clay bars. This is a Mother's synthetic clay bar. So this thing right here. And, you know, you can get about, they say about 20 full cars. You can do about 20 of them out of this one thing. And I will tell you that I already did this on most of the car, not all of the car, just kind of checking it out. And it worked amazing, like unbelievable. I did the hood already, and I got rid of like 99% of it. So I was like taking a big sigh of relief, because I'm like, why would this car come with this? I don't know how I missed it, but I just did. And anyway, I'm fixing it right now. And so what I wanted to share with you is that if you're in the need of doing a clay bar, honestly, don't even waste your time with the old school clay bars. This is the first time I've ever used a synthetic clay bar, and if I don't know what to tell you, but that clay bar barely touched these white little specks of sort of dried wax that were on the paint, and this thing takes it off with no problem. So if that's any indication of the performance of this kind of product, then I'm pretty much done with the old school clay bars, because this thing is money. So I would highly recommend this product. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash the car. I'm going to do the whole car again, including windows, every single panel. I'm going to do a clay bar, and then the next step for me is to do a polish, and then it's time to ceramic coat it, and I will be very happy once the ceramic coating is done. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys around and you know, kind of go through this process with you. All right, so I'm about to get started, about to wash the car. So always recommend the two bucket method. I've got my microfiber sponge in the wash bucket. I got a clean bucket to rinse off, and then I have a separate bucket for the wheels and tires. And I actually am also going to do a Duracoat coating. So I'll have to show you guys that when I'll do another video on that. But I did a Duracoat on the Corvette, and I did a Duracoat on my previous Audi, and the Duracoat's pretty cool, I will say. A friend of mine got it, and he showed it to me, and I tried it, and it's pretty impressive. It is kind of a nice semi-permanent coating gloss that you put on the wheels, and it looks good, and it's kind of semi-permanent. So I used it, and it works pretty well. So I'll definitely show you guys the video on that. But definitely, when you are going to wash the car, do the two bucket method. So I'm going to wash the car, I'm going to spray it down, I'm going to wash it in full, get the tires, get the wheels, get the car, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do an entire application of the synthetic clay bar. And then I'm going to need to wash it again, because after I do the synthetic clay bar, you know, I want to get all of that off of the paint, obviously, before I begin to polish it. So we're going to go through this process together, and how I'm going to ceramic coat this car. And once I ceramic coat it and pretty much have it done, it's going to look really, really good. So as you can see, definitely not the cleanest car. It's been kind of rainy here in Maryland, but we are going to get her all shined up. We're going to get her clean. There's my friend for the day. You're about to get wet, about to spray him off. All right, let's do this. All right, so when cleaning the wheels, what do I use? I use the Diablo gel wheel cleaner from Chemical Guys, and you just put it in one of these bottles, and I spray it pretty generously, all on the inside, all on the outside. I kind of let that sit and run for just a little bit. I mean, most of the dirt that's on the inside of the barrel is from the brake dust, so I let that sit a little bit longer. I take one of these brushes, a nice soft brush. It's not going to damage the wheel. Even if I hit it, it's not going to do anything. And go to the outside. And when you're washing your car, always do the wheels first. All right, don't save the wheels to the end. And the reason why you do that, obviously, is you want to get the dirt off of the wheels first, because once you have cleaned the car in full, okay, you want to be ready to quickly dry the car. All right, because once the car starts to dry on its own, you're going to start to get those dry water spots, and you do not want those on your nicely cleaned car. So always do the wheels first. Then I use one of these guys here, get in the barrel, get all the way in there, go back and forth, and at this point the Diablo has had some time to penetrate some of that brake dust. I'm gonna try to get in there, clean as much as you can. I think I actually got some on the camera. All right, and once you're getting all in there, Last step is I have one of these little guys here. You can just put your hand in, and then I try to get the caliper as much as possible. Try to wipe it down. Now, if you can't get in there, you might need something like this, something that allows you to really get in there. Try to get all of the brake dust off the top and the back of that. It's a pretty big caliper on this thing, I will say. And then you're good. All right, so the car is washed. We are officially washed. And now I'm going to go ahead and clay bar the car. So I did the wheels, did the tires, did the exterior, and now I got my synthetic clay bar. Now the most important step in any type of clay bar is the lubrication between the clay bar and the actual car. So with this, you can do one of two ways. You can use a sort of a spray sort of detail and use that as a lubricant, or you can actually put it right in some soapy water and just make sure the car is nice and thoroughly wet. And basically, as long as you can go across the car like this and it's not grabbing, and you'll feel it when you go across the car, if it's not grabbing and sticking, then you know you have enough lubrication. And I can actually already feel it a little bit. You can almost hear that. Just go right back in. Now the way you want a clay bar, always go in the direction of the wind. Do not go cross left and right, okay? And definitely don't do circles. You always want to go in the same direction of the wind that hits the car. Again, put it right back in, soap it up. And I actually kind of like this thing because it's ergonomic. Nice. See, I can see the car. You can see how the car's kind of dry over here. So best thing to do, I'm just gonna come over here, spray it down. Again, the most important step in any type of clay bar process is the lubrication between the clay bar and the car. If you don't have that lubrication, you're gonna get like stuck. It's not gonna move. And you just got to keep that going back and forth in the same direction. And that's going to decontaminate the paint. And basically what I'm trying to do is to make sure all those little white dots are off the car. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this for the rest of the car. I'm going to keep working on this. And then the next stop is polishing. Well, I gotta wash it one more time and then I gotta polish it. And the sun's coming out, so I'll have to take it in the garage because you can't do any polishing in this heat of the sun like this. It was kind of nice and overcast on a cloudy day, which makes for a perfect day. But when it gets hot like this, I'm gonna have to go in the garage and let the car cool down before I start to do any type of polishing. You can't do it on a hot surface. But I mean, this is almost perfect. Just a couple little specks. And of course it's a metallic black, so you really can't see it. And 99.9% of the people would never even notice this stuff. But you know, before I ceramic coat the car, I really want to make sure that I get it good. Because if you're going to ceramic coat the car, you got to remember, whatever you put on top of, you know, when that ceramic coat goes on top of the car, whatever's underneath it is going to be trapped under that ceramic coating. So you really, that's the whole idea of having a good quality paint. You know, if you don't correct the paint before you do a ceramic coating, it's defeating the purpose. All right, so let's see, I'll leave this here for you guys. So car's all cleaned up, clay barred. washed, we're good to go. So I brought it in, car's cooled off, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish the car because I've already cut it, and the cutting stage is where you get rid of all those deep swirl marks, all the major imperfections. If you've got like acid rain marks or any type of bird poop that's etched in the clear coat, like 99% of that's going to come off with a good cut. So what I did was I used this stuff here, this Menzerna heavy cut compound. I used 400. This stuff is awesome. I would definitely recommend that. I would definitely recommend getting some type of polisher. This is Griot's orbital polisher. And so now what I'm going to use is a complete polish. And so after you do the heavy cut, it's important to bring back that luster and shine with a polish. So very important part of the process. So very easy. I'm just going to put a little bit on the orbital. I'm going to buff it in one section at a time, and then I'm just going to wipe it off with a nice edgeless microfiber cloth. So let's go ahead and do it. The nice thing about this polish is that it wipes off very easily and really leaves a nice shine. And then the last step before I actually do the ceramic coating would be to, once I polish it, I'll have to wash it and then use an isopropyl to get all of the waxes and any of the remnants off of the car. So we'll be good. I think I put a little extra polish on the hood. I really like the hood to get a little bit extra. But you really only need like 4 small beads. Don't need too much. So one tip that I can share with you that I do is when I put the dabs on there and I put it on the car, when I put the little beads on there, I put it on the car and spread it out. Start off with a low speed, because if you start off with a high speed, usually it's going to kick it all over the car and spit it everywhere and make a mess. So all you got to do is start with I just put it on the lowest setting. And this has 6 speeds, so I just put it on speed 1, and then I just kind of massage it all into the paint. And once it's all already in, then I turn it up to around 3.5. Nothing too crazy. I don't need to put it up full power. I'm not trying to cut anything at this point. I'm just trying to polish it. So that's it. So we are officially done the polishing process. Finish up the clay bar, finish up the washing, and we are looking good. I'm going to be getting, I guess, ready and prepped for the ceramic coating process, and that is ultimately the next step, because I've washed it, I've clay barred it, I've compounded it, I clay barred it again with a synthetic clay bar, then I washed it again, and now I've polished it. So we are definitely looking good as far as our prep. So the paint has officially been corrected, the car looks great, and once I put that ceramic coating on there, we're going to basically be protected. And that's where it's going to really bring out that shine, and it's going to look awesome. So here is the results. Well, here are the results, I think. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Just wanted to kind of give you an update on the garage. Got the new Audi A6. Check out those 21-inch wheels. I mean, that's kind of unbelievable to think a car comes stock with 21-inch wheels. Definitely a great daily, very, very comfortable. Love the car. I'll take you guys out for a ride, show you some of the technology, but awesome ride. In the next video or two, we're going to be at Corvettes at Carlisle, so I'll show you guys some footage from that, and we're going to go down with a Corvette Club here, so should hopefully have some good footage on the road. So, all right, with that, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.